Hello students, in this particular video we will be revising our first chapter, that is the integers. So first of all, let us just quickly recall our number line. On the number line here we have in the center the 0 value. Then when we will move on right side we will be adding +1 over here, and whenever we will move on left side here -1 we will do. So the values that are written on the right side are greater and the values that are written on the left side are in decreasing order. So in this way we can use this number line to answer the many questions that we will be solving in this particular chapter. So here when it is asked that you have to find out the descending order, arrange the particular numbers in descending order, or you have to mark them in ascending order, you can simply use your number line to mark it. For example, here are numbers provided 0, 3, 8, 14, -4, -9 and -16. So in descending order it has written 14 at the top. Why? Because it is on the rightmost side, and in the rightmost side what happens, the numbers increases, and in descending order we have to write the greatest number at the first position. That's why 14 is written on the first position. Okay, so in this way you can answer all these questions. Here are some situations provided to you. For example, add a positive integer, we move right. Add a negative integer, we move left. Subtract a positive integer, we move left. Subtract a negative integer, we move right. So let us understand this particular one, because you may be wondering about this one. So it is asked subtract a negative integer, that is for subtraction you have to minus, and again you have to subtract a minus integer. So minus will give you the positive answer. That's why it is correct. Okay, so plus means you have to move the right side, so that's why this particular situation is absolutely correct, that is provided over here. Okay, so on the basis of this, let us try to answer some situations provided. When two positive integers are added, we get a positive answer. So is it correct? Yes, it is correct. When you will add 2 plus sign, you will get a positive answer. So this is the first condition. Now it has provided two negative integers are added, we get a positive integers. When you add two particular negative integers, you will get your answer in a negative value, and you will simply add both values but the sign will be of negative. So that's why it is written you get a positive integer. It is a wrong condition. Now next, when a positive integer and negative integers are added, we always get a negative integer. That's again a wrong answer. It is asked to take a positive integer. So for example, I am taking +4. Now this time next it has asked a negative integers, then I had taken -3. And what I'm supposed to do, I am supposed to simply add both these values. So when I'll add them here, plus and minus will give me a negative sign, and it is 4 and 3. Is my answer negative? No, my answer is +1. So that means this condition of always is not true. So in this way you can simply answer all the conditions that are provided. Let us move ahead. Now let us try to solve some exercise question. Here the first question is, number line is provided. On this particular number line you have been provided some places over here. Now you have to answer some questions that are provided. Here observe this number line and write the temperature of the places marked on it. So for example, I'll be answering the value for UT. Okay, for UT, here it is where it is lying. It is lying for moving on left hand side. What I was supposed to do, when I'll move on left hand side, I am supposed to subtract the value. So here I'll subtract 1. So when I'll subtract 1 from 15, I'll get the answer, that is 14. So the value for UT is 14 degree Celsius. So in this way I can answer. Let us take another example. This time Shimla. So for Shimla, what is it? So on the right side of 0. On the right side of 0, it is written on the right side of 0, these all are positive values. So my answer is plus, and it is 5 degree Celsius. For example, if it would have been here, so on left side of 0, values are negative here. So my answer is minus 5 degrees Celsius if this value is to be indicated over here. In this way, you can simply answer all the values provided over here. So let us take one more example. What is the temperature difference between Lahore, Spiti and Srinagar? So where is Srinagar? Here is your Srinagar. What value did it possess? It is 1, 2 and negative. So minus 2 is the value of Srinagar, and Lahore Spiti is at minus 10 value. So you have to find the difference between both the two values. So when you will find the difference between these values, you will write first minus 2 or minus 10. Okay, which one is greater in this? Greater value is minus 2. You all are getting my point. So my greatest value is minus 2. So from minus 2, I'll be subtracting the value that is minus 10. So when I'll subtract, here I will get 2 negative marks. It will become a plus for me. So it is simply minus 2 plus 10. So whenever these kind of conditions appear, so I'll be providing you some solutions for it. What you have to do, when you are required to simply plus and plus, so you are required to add both the values and sign will be of plus. But when you have two sign, that is plus and minus, you have to subtract the values and your sign will be of the greatest value. For example, I have 4 and 3, and if it was of negative sign and it was of positive sign, here 4 is greatest value, so my sign will be of negative. And if both the values are of negative sign, then I'll simply add both the values and my sign again will be of negative. So now following this, we can simply do this question. So here, what was this? It was required, it was minus 2 plus minus 8. So it became minus 2 plus 8. So plus minus, I will subtract. Subtraction value is 6 and the sign will be of plus because 8 is greater than 2. So my answer will be plus 6 degree Celsius. So in this way, you can answer these type of questions. Okay. What second question says? It says in a quiz, positive marks are given for correct answer, negative marks are provided for incorrect answer. These are the scores that Jack has achieved in a particular test. You have to find the total at the end. So what you are required to do, you will just check the signs ahead of the number. For example, minus 5, minus 10. So these two values, when I'll add, what it will become? It will provide me the value minus 15. Why? Because I have to simply add both the values and put the sign of negative ahead of it. Then I'll simply add 25, 15 and 10 as the way I do, and then I'll have one positive value and one negative value, that is 15. So then what is required? I have to simply subtract both the values and put the sign of the greatest number ahead at my answer. Okay, in this way you can simply solve all your exercise questions. So now let us move ahead to our next exercise. Before that, let us have a look at question number 9. At here, what it is like, minus 8, and as I explained earlier, minus will give a positive sign. 4. Now what I have to do? There is plus and minus. I have to subtract both the values. When I'll subtract, I'll get 4. And the sign will be of the greatest number. Greatest number is 8 and ahead of it the sign is of minus. So my answer will also possess a negative sign. Okay. Now next, the questions are provided like over here. First I will add 23 and 11. Then I'll subtract 41 from it. In this way, I can simply solve all these questions. Here again, this sign will become positive. So now I hope you can answer these questions. Here he example is provided in a water tank has stepped inside it. A monkey is sitting on the topmost step. That is the first step. The water level is at the ninth step. He jumps three steps down and then jumps back two steps up. So simply you have to keep in mind, whenever you will be writing a step upwards, you will have to put plus mark for it, and you are taking a step down, you have to put a negative mark for it. And then this is the question of simply addition and subtraction that you all can do. Okay, so now next exercise. In next exercise, some properties are provided. For example, the closure property is provided over here. So in closure property, what does closure property means to you? Closure property means whenever you apply a particular mathematical operation, that is a plus, minus, multiplication or division, whatever mathematical operation it is. So for particular different situation, I'll be doing for particular mathematical operations, we will find different properties. Here the closure one. Closure means it will provide you an integer whenever you will apply a mathematical operation. So for particular operations like addition and subtraction, it is provided closure under addition. That is, whenever you simply add two integers, you will get the answer in integer only. And now next one is, whenever you will subtract two integers, you will get an integer in the answer. That's why it is written integers are closed under subtraction. Okay, so in this way we can do other properties as well. You have already read about the commutative property. What is a commutative property? Commutative property means that you will do the operation like a plus b, or you will change its position to b plus a, you will get the same result. That is called commutative. That is, if you change the position of the particular values, you will get the same result, then it means it is a commutative property. So let us see commutative property for the addition. Here it is clearly written that for addition, commutative for integer property holds, that is a plus b equals to b plus a. But for subtraction, it is not true. I am subtracting a particular value, that is 3 minus 5. So it gives me minus 2, and if I subtract 5 minus 3, it gives me plus 2. Both values are different. That means for subtraction, the commutative property does not hold in case of integers. Okay, so next let us move ahead. Here the next one is associative property. So associative property means if you have three values, here three values are provided. So if you will apply operation first on this bracket one and then apply it on third one, or whether you apply the operation on this for first two terms and then on third term, you will get the same result, then you can call that a particular situation holds associative property. Here I am applying it for only on for addition and subtraction. So let us see the results. So here it is written that a plus b, a plus b plus c, or a plus b plus c, these value is written. There is a difference between both the values. You have to understand that, because here I'll first add these values and then add a in it. In this situation, I'll add first these values and then I'll add c in it. Okay, so then the next is provided additive identity. Additive identity means that particular value that is required by me for solving, in which no change in my value is required. For example, if I add anything in a number, its value can be changed. But what is the exact value? If added, no change will be there. It is 0. So 0 is the additive identity, that when I'll add 0 in a, it will provide me the a only. No change will occur in my value. So this is called additive identity. Here in this question, it is asked, write down a pair of integer whose difference is -3, difference is -5, and this kind of question. So here there can be multiple answers of this particular question. Say few examples are provided to you by the book provider. Okay, so here let us try to find out another questions. If I'll simply do what? If I'll subtract 8 from 5, what value I'll get? Plus minus is minus subtraction operation, and the sign will be of greatest value, so I'll get -3. So there can be many answers to a particular question, so just don't stick only to the book solution, you can find your own answers as well. Okay, so now on the basis of this, next exercise is provided. Here you have to write down pair of integers whose sum is -7, difference is -10. So you can simply find out your own answers that give you the required result that is asked in the question. Okay, so here is a question number third. In a quiz, team A scored -40, 10, 0. Team B scored this in 3 successive rounds. Which team scored more? So what is required? You have to simply add these values and then find out which value is greater. For example, if I'll add these values, I'll get -30, and here if I'll add these values, I'll get -30 as well. So can we say that we can add integers in any order? So yes, we can add integers in any order as the result is same. Here I had added the values like this, here I had added the values like this. Here the order is not same in both the conditions, so answer is same. So that's why we can say that we can add in any order. Okay, so next is multiplication of a positive and a negative integer. So for multiplication, you have to keep in mind, when your minus and plus sign are in multiplication, the subtraction sign will win and your answer will possess a minus sign. And if the positive and positive sign are in multiplication, your answer will be positive, and negative sign are in multiplication, you will again get a positive answer. So in this way you can answer. Here one clear observation is there. Here one subtraction mark was there, so you get minus. Here two subtraction mark were there, so you get a positive answer. So if you had odd number of minus signs, your answer will be negative. If you have even number of minus sign, your answer will be positive one. So in this way you can simply calculate the sign of your answer for answering in a particular question. So here let us have a look to few questions right now. So here is a question like 16 multiplied -19. So here plus and minus, your answer will be of negative sign. Then the multiplication is simple, you can do. So here as well, one is a positive value and one is negative, so your answer will be of negative sign. Okay, in this way you can find out the sign of your answer result. One more thing is provided, that is whether you multiply a minus b or you multiply -a multiply b, it doesn't matter the sign is ahead of which number. It simply means that your answer will possess a negative sign. That's the only case. Okay, when you multiply two negative integers, I right now told you that you will get a positive answer. Okay, so next these kind of questions are provided. Here it is like -3, your answer will be of positive 9, because minus will give you a positive result. So here the same condition is provided, product of two negative integers is a positive integer. Okay, in this way you can answer this. Now next one is multiplicative identity. So in identity, what we did in additive, when we find out the added identity, it means the value should not be changed. So we added 0 in my value so that it cannot be changed, and I named 0 as the additive identity. So multiplicative identity, I need a number by which if I multiply, my number will not change. So it is the value of 1. Whenever I'll multiply my number with 1, the answer will not be changed. So it is called the multiplicative identity for me. Okay. So next is provided Associativity for multiplication. Associativity means the same as provided earlier, that if you solve first these bracket multiplication and then multiply it with this, or whether you solve this one and then multiply it with the outside one, it doesn't matter. So it is for associative property holds correctly for multiplication, that is the required result. Distributive property means the multiplication will be distributed to both the values that are present in the bracket. So here 16 is provided outside, so 16 multiplied 10 or 16 multiplied 2 with addition will hold. That is simply the result that is written over here. A will be distributed to B and C equally. That is the distributive property, simply in simple terms. Okay, so next on subtraction as well, it will be distributive as we have seen earlier, it will be distributive over subtraction as well. Okay, so now quickly have a look at the exercise questions. Here it has 4 negative signs. So 4 is an even number, your answer will be of positive sign. Here we have 3 negative signs, so 3 is a odd number, so your answer will possess a negative sign. So in this way you can answer it. Okay, so find the product of using suitable properties. Using suitable properties that you have already read, that is for example distributive property. So with the help of distributive property you can solve these particular questions. Or for example here you can take out minus 48 as common value, and in the bracket what it will be left, it will be left with 26 and this plus sign and this minus 36. So this is a question, this is a simple subtraction question that you have done earlier and then multiply it with minus 48. In this way you can simply do your calculation with the help of the properties that you have learned, that is associative and distributive. In division as well. So for example, you have to, if you have negative value in the numerator and positive value in denominator, your answer will possess a negative sign. If you have negative signs in numerator and denominator, your answer will possess a positive sign. So here again, even number of minus signs, you get a positive answer. Odd number of minus sign, you will get the negative answer. Okay, so now with this I'll wind up this video. I hope you like the video. So see you in next video for latest updates. Tab tak ke liye bye bye.